Let's get it in. Let's go ahead, get it in real quick. All right. Perfect. You are in the place to be. Listen, we got a lot to get to real quick. We got a lot to get to this morning real quick before the show start in about 8 minutes. But if you have been watching anything, you kind of know that the cat's out the bag as far as what's coming with the A7S III. And I had a chance to sleep on it. At first, I was like, I don't know about all that. I don't know about it. I ain't crazy about the specs. But then I had a chance to sleep on it. And I thought about some things. I really took some time to kind of just think about some things. Kind of just put some things in perspective. And I learned a few things. One of the things that I learned is Sony has decided to take the high road and give you better 4K than Canon is giving you 8K, right? So for those who haven't heard the specs or what's the leak specs, which I've seen video on it, if you've, if you've paid attention to the feed or Facebook page, they've actually posted a video. Somebody leaked B&H's video on the actual camera. Now, real quick, before I even go into it, it's important that we gotta, for the people who are new on this channel, real quick. My name is Ty. This is Flash from Academy, and this is for the business side of the industry. If you want to learn how to do Photoshop, all that great stuff, this is not the place to be. This is the place to go to get better at the video side of it, to turn your passion into profit. And often we talk about gear and gear that can give you better production value. And I like to be up on announcements. And today, that's kind of what today is. In fact, sit tight. Let's roll that intro. Perfect. Before we switch over to the live launch, let's go over what's been rumored, which has really not been rumored. It's just what it is. Real quick, I predicted a while back that the A7S would be either 4K or 6K, the S3, and that they would follow up really quickly with an A7 IV, which is going to be one step above. So it'll be, knowing that this is 4K, it'll probably be 6K or 8K, which they gave you as much 4K. Sony went the smart route, right? Canon went the flashy, I'm gonna give you a ton of resolution, and they gave you a decent amount of resolution, as far as data with that resolution. Sony says, I'm going to flat out give you one of the best 4K cameras money can buy right now. 15 stops of dynamic range, 4K at 120 frames per second at 10-bit. They're also offering 4K at 120 frames per second over HDMI, full HDMI. It will record, don't know yet whether or not it's going to record 4K 120 internally, but it offers 4K at 120. So a few things that's very important. No raw internal recording. However, it will export, or you have the ability to get 16-bit RAW from the HDMI port, which is absolutely ridiculous. That is a C500. That is C500 level. It has a dynamic range that's higher than a C2. Like what Sony has secretly done is this killed a majority of Canon's cinema lineup. Let's just be honest. A majority of Canon cinema lineup is gone now. Flip out screen. It's ridiculous. It's the best 4K you possibly can get. And people, smart people know that 8K is kind of a gimmick. You're not really going to use it. It's nice to have. You're not really going to use it. Let's just be 100. So it's a nice to have. I don't know if you guys seen pictures, but while we're waiting on the other feed to start in about 2 minutes, really quickly, really quickly, let's go over some of the, let's just look at some of the pictures that's been leaked, right? So we have some of the images that's been leaked. It'll have a dual card slot, but the two type of different cards it takes. Full HDMI. There we go. Give you an idea of what's. So these are, everything has been, no overheating, no recording limits. Very important. No overheating or recording limits. It's extremely important that you know that. So they're giving you a full-fledged camera with a flip-out screen. So just a heads up on what they're bringing to you. They're bringing it, and they're giving you the best 4K camera they can give you. They're giving you the best 4K camera money can buy. So pretty dope. I can't be mad at that. We're gonna get ready to go to the in a minute. We're gonna go to the as soon as the live stream, pop up and go live, we're gonna switch over to it. But I had a chance to sleep on it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I was like, y'all needed to do 8K to beat Canon. And there's a lot of people that are going to buy the Canon simply because it says 8K. But that 8K, they're not giving you what Sony's giving. 15 stops of dynamic range is absolutely outrageously ridiculous. At 16-bit, that is red level. That is better than the Blackmagic Ursa, any Blackmagic Ursa. Right, Blackmagic Ursa is giving you about 15 stops of dynamic range. So let me not say that. However, somebody said Canon is drug dealer, Sony is a doctor right now. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Canon is just saying, how can we make a splash? How can we get people attention? They've done that. Sony is playing the smart game. Sony is saying, hey, let me give you the important stuff that you want, which is data. Because resolution isn't all that crazy. And 8-bit is overkill, just like 12-bit is overkill, but I see a place for it. I see a place for 12-bit raw graphics, chroma key and things like that. 8-bit, or that 8-bit, I'm sorry, 8K is a little in between. And the R5 is, the overheating issue is a game changer. Let's go to the Sony. Okay, Sony's getting ready to, give me a second because it's extra loud here. Give me a second because it's extra loud here. So we're gonna get ready to go to the Sony feed in a second. Let me get my split screen set up. And we'll get that popping. And hey man, we're gonna see what them boys talking about. So let's go ahead and go to that. We got a minute to go, and let's hey man, let's see what if they're gonna pop out any surprises or anything like that. Let's see. We'll just watch and go from there. Real quick while that load. We're gonna see, any predictions real quick. I'm gonna have y'all post any predictions y'all have in the room. See if y'all got any predictions on what's coming. Really quickly. While we wait for that to load up. Let's switch over to it real quick.
Alpha.
So it is as leaked. All right, there we have it.
Now the long wait is over. Today, we are proud to introduce a new full-frame mirrorless camera, the A7S Mark III, which will completely change the way creators can see the world. A new dimension of visual experience starts from here. The A7S Mark III is a complete redesign of the whole S-series system. Everything is new, including the image sensor and processor. Our goal is to meet and exceed expectations of the creators who've been waiting so long for this camera. Since its sensational debut back in 2014, sensitivity has been the root of the A7S series. Carrying on this legacy, the new A7S Mark III opens the unknown world of visual expression thanks to a newly developed Sony Exmor-R back-illuminated CMOS sensor. To assure overwhelming picture quality, the new image sensor has 12.1 megapixel resolution, securing a large pixel size. Now, evolved with a back-illuminated structure, it produces the best ever 4K quality combined with high sensitivity. Pixel size matters because a large pixel is indispensable for shooting high-quality movies. The larger the pixel, the more incoming light with less noise, resulting in higher picture quality for all kinds of shooting occasions. On top of the legendary S-series standing for sensitivity, the A7S Mark III has been enhanced with speed as well. The new image sensor boasts twice the data readout speed and a new focal plane phase detection autofocus system. The back-illuminated structure benefits not only in increased sensitivity, but also the data readout speed performance. In addition, a large amount of autofocus data can be transferred in real time. These improvements will greatly expand shooting capabilities and expression. To realize supreme imaging experience and versatile operation, a new image processing engine has been created, the Beyond's XR. This consists of two different processors combined and enhances up to 8 times higher processing performance compared to the conventional system. The innovative new engine is born with a new architecture, having capacity aiming for future imaging experience. By combining the performance of the new image sensor and the new image processor, an enormous amount of data processing in real time can now be realized. This initiates a whole new dimension of visual expression. What is a new dimension of visual expression? The new A7S Mark III boasts the best ever supreme 4K movie quality in alpha history. The A7S Mark III utilizes the rich data of full pixel readout without pixel binning or line skipping in every 4K recording format for every recording frame rate. The astonishing sensitivity performance allows creators to have more flexibility than ever to control exposure while maintaining beautiful picture quality.
Keep in mind,
this is true for all lighting conditions.
Format.
Performance in low light situations have been improved on average 1 stop or more in mid to high ISO range when shooting S-Log3. The dynamic range is a wide 15+ stops for movies, allowing you to capture from shadow to highlight in various shooting scenes and conditions, and offering excellent flexibility during the post-production process. A new addition is the 10-bit depth, which has 4 times richer gradation compared to 8-bit, and 4:2:2 color sampling is available in every recording format and frame rate, either in 4K or Full HD. The A7S Mark III offers all intra-frame internal recording with the new XAVC-SI format for both 4K and Full HD, up to maximum 1200 megabits per second when shooting 4K 5x slow motion in slow and quick mode. Think of the benefits of combining all of these capabilities together. These features are all applied to the highest frame rate of 120p. Internal recording up to 120p in 4K and 240p in Full HD is realized. And the onboard slow and quick mode provides high quality but convenient in-camera processed slow motion recording and instant playback up to 5 times in 4K and 10 times in Full HD. All the latest Sony's autofocus technology, cultivated with Alpha, has been transplanted and evolved in A7S Mark III. Autofocus in movies is available in every recording format and frame rate, including 120p, where precise autofocus is required. You will experience the new shooting style, operation, workflow, and visual expression, overturning the common sense of manual focus control, opening the age of autofocus in movie shooting. The camera includes Sony's industry-leading AI-based real-time IAF, which has been refined to perform 30% better. Real-time tracking is also possible with the touch of a finger. Autofocus performance of A7S Mark III is not realized by the body itself. Lenses must equally respond as well. With over 50 native E-mount lenses, the Sony Alpha lens lineup is ready for the overwhelming movie autofocus and image performance when combined with the new camera. With all these advanced features combined together, the A7S Mark III will surely keep you inspired to create images like no other.
And it's free for
This
Flash Film
footage has
Academy
been
users.
shot at 120p and edited to 5 times slow motion. Note how every single frame is in focus, even with such a shallow depth of field, even at an amazing sensitivity. When shooting 120p, your shutter speed needs to be higher, meaning sensitivity becomes even more essential for high frame rate shooting. Again, the large pixel does matter. For professional works, post-production workflow is critical. The A7S Mark III offers a variety of features to support this. The A7S Mark III includes S-Log2 and S-Log3 gamma curves, and the S-Log3 achieves up to 15+ stop dynamic range with 10-bit depth expandable to ISO 160. S-Log3 matching with professional camcorders in colors and tones has been improved for multiple camera operating scenes with Sony Cinema Camera Venice or professional camcorder FX9, for instance. The A7S Mark III also allows unprocessed 16-bit raw output to an external device over HDMI
that's a game changer
with frame
right
rate selectable up to 60p.
That's nasty right there.
A full-sized HDMI Type A terminal provides a more secure connection with simple compatibility with other HDMI devices. The A7S Mark III adds XAVC-HS format recording using HEVC or H.265 codec, which has approximately doubled compression efficiency.
And it's done with OPP.
It has an option for the convenient and instant workflow onboard hybrid log gamma, where you will experience finer gradation and smooth highlight roll-off thanks to the 10-bit color depth. In addition, Creative Look, the camera features 10 types of in-camera presets, available for both stills and movies. This is helpful for quick delivery and saving you time without post-production. The whole system is redesigned for professional visual expression and operation. The Alpha 7S Mark III includes optical 5-axis image stabilization, which has been greatly enhanced with the new active mode dedicated to movie shooting, keeping 4K quality. It offers you very smooth and stable gimbal-like footage, especially when Sony's native wide-angle lenses are mounted. Please see this handheld footage stabilized only by in-camera active mode when walking straight. When shooting 4K, the new image sensor and processing engine reduce rolling shutter 3 times more than the Alpha 7S Mark II. Please see the result of minimized rolling shutter effect. For high-quality expression, the Alpha 7S Mark III utilizes plenty of data, inevitably generating much heat. In order to minimize thermal limitation, effective heat dissipation measures have been newly developed, allowing for extended continuous 4K recording. For instance, the camera can shoot 4K 60p 10-bit 422 all-intra for over an hour until the battery ends.
Canon who?
Additionally, the camera's multi-interface shoe supports digital audio interface for superb audio quality. Audio signal is digitized in the microphone and directly transferred to the camera in clean digital form without the need for external power supplies or connection cables. When the XLR K3M adapter is attached via MI shoe, this combination provides you a choice of capturing future-proofed 4-channel 24-bit recording in linear PCM audio internal of the camera.
24-bit internal
the new
audio
Alpha
is
7S
crazy.
Mark III features
on
a
it.
vari-angle articulating monitor that rotates sideways and affords plenty of freedom for movie shooting. It can also be folded back in to protect itself when not in use. The monitor's touch operation capability also contributes to easy focus operations during movie shooting. You can also temporarily activate autofocus by the touch operation to override manual focus mode. The upgraded focus function includes customizable AF transition speed and subject shift sensitivity, which allows ideal rack focus expression even with autofocus. These settings are synchronized when using touch focus control as well. Widen your range of expression by leaving it to the camera. The camera has a completely redesigned menu system as well, which can be operated via the new touch screen. Parameters can be instantly selected by directly touching them on the display. When movie mode is selected, the menu is changed to movie-dedicated configuration. Also, settings such as exposure and focus mode are stored independently for the still and movie modes. The Alpha 7S Mark III is also designed for photography with superior low-light capability. The new camera features the world's largest and highest resolution EVF, a 9.44 million dot OLED display with 0.9 times magnification. The camera delivers low noise throughout the camera's amazing sensitivity with refined color science thanks to the new Beyond's XR image processing engine. The newest autofocus technology and algorithm are applied for still image shooting as well. 759 AF points and 92% area coverage with low light AF capability as low as EV-6. And 10 frame per second continuous shooting works with AF and AE mechanically and electronically for up to 1,000 consecutive uncompressed RAWs. For stress-free rapid data recording, the Alpha 7S Mark III has dual slots, both of which supports the SDXC UHS-2 card and The Alpha 7S Mark III also adopted the world's first CFexpress Type A memory cards, developed for the next generation of cameras for high quality and speed, where enormous data writing is necessary. For example, 4K 120p all-intra recording. Thanks to its compact size, no dedicated slots are necessary, meaning each card slot can accept both SD card and CFexpress Type A. The new compact CFexpress Type A card offers 700 megabytes per second write, 800 megabytes per second read speed, and are available in 80 gigabytes and 160 gigabytes. Also, a new card reader for the CFexpress Type A and SD card will be available. One mount promises many benefits. The new Alpha 7S Mark III is part of Sony's powerful E-mount system, which includes 57 lenses that are compatible across not only the Alpha series, but also with our professional camcorders, whether they are full frame or Super 35. There is a lot more to explain, but let us finish the presentation here. Please take a note on many other exciting enhancements and features as shown. Imagination in motion. Thank you for joining us.
Wow, so they just gonna come in and just punch us in the throat like that. Let's talk about a few things. Let me close this because I was watching on the other thing. Let's talk about a few things real quick because that was quick and to the throat. It was quick and to the throat. It was a throat punch, quick throat punch in your face. Let's talk about dynamic range. They're saying 15 plus stops of dynamic range. The Canon R5 is only around 12 stops. They're giving you a lot. They're giving you, there's a few things that jumped out at me that are important. And I'm gonna be real with you. If I got to choose between the R5 and the A7S III for video, I'm going A7S III, and I'm gonna tell you why. For me, I don't care about 8K. 8K is nice, it's great, it is a beautiful thing to have, but 90% of the systems out here aren't really edited in 8K. Like, I can't handle 8K. 24-bit internal audio. Ouch. Thank you, Sony. Thank you for caring about audio, because I guarantee you the Canon is probably the same crappy audio we've been getting. 24-bit internal audio. Y'all know I'm not a autofocus video guy, but gosh, how can you not be when they're giving it to you in every... That's another thing that Sony pushed out that I think is a throat punch for Canon, right? They mentioned that these features are available in every recording format and frame rate. Canon didn't say that. They was like, you can get dual pixel autofocus, but you're gonna have to buy the camera to figure out that it's not in the high frame rates, or, you know, there are some things that are direct throat punches at Canon. One is the whole overheating thing, not overeating, the whole overheating aspect of it. No recording limits. Really good 16-bit 4K. That is, the FS5 is gone. The FS7 is gone. What did they got? The FX9 now? I can almost promise you the low light isn't touching this camera. So to have the low light capability that this camera has, and I don't know if you just haven't been keeping up with A7Ss, right? Let's say you have not touched an A7S, you have not heard about it. This is your first time really caring why the A7S lineup is even important. It's important that you know that the A7S lineup, low light, is not just good. It is freaking ridiculous. Like, it is abnormally night vision in color. Like it's ridiculous. The A7S has no recording limits, right? They took off the 30-minute, the 29-minute. You know, every YouTuber uploaded a video about the A7S. I didn't get one. I'm not that special yet. I got to get another 1 million subscribers, but then maybe I'll get one. If you've not been keeping up with the A7 line, The A7 line, A7S, what's the number one, or in my opinion, the dopest feature about the A7Ss, previous to this particular model, has been the low light capability. It is mind-blowingly great in low light. Like I'm talking about under a bridge, street light, still have everything well exposed, like stars in the back. Like, it is ridiculously great. It is the king of low light. Nothing's even close. Like, it is weirdly good in low light. If you're doing any type of shooting and you don't have a whole lot of light and you still want to get great, images, like, it's crazy good in low light. Like you're not limited by your glass. If all your glass is less expensive, f5, 6, f4, so what? This camera will eliminate all of that. Am I gonna get one? Probably. Yes, I'm probably gonna get one. That camera replaces a lot of camera. Like, that camera got me thinking about like do I want to move my Ursa for it? 15 plus stops to dynamic. It's giving me everything my Ursa's giving me with autofocus and a flip out screen and a smaller body. It's giving me 16-bit RAW. That's what my Ursa's giving me. It's just giving it to me at 4.7K in a much bigger body that I gotta do all this with. So it's biting into a lot of gear that I got. My C100 that I use for YouTube, I can use that for YouTube, especially with great audio. I got the C100 because the autofocus, which I don't even use right now. I got it locked in, but I got it for the audio capability. I can run an XLR port into it. I can record. So it gives me something to think about. At $3,500, I can move a few things and get a couple of them and offer you guys 2 angles. So definitely something to think about moving forward. I wait on the verdict for the 15 stops. I totally agree, but usually when a company's promising 15, you're going to get at least 14, right? Canon's promising 12. So what are you getting, 10? 11? They promise 15 plus. So it's probably 15 and a half, and you'll probably get 14 and a half. The older cameras were 14 stops of dynamic range and were great. So this is, I thought at first they were going to try to do the resolution game, and they were like, you know what? Nah, we're going to do the quality game. We're going to give you the best 4K money can buy. So somebody said you need to have a virtual yard sale for your gold members. Yeah, that's a possibility. But gosh, like, that is, I love the size of a mirrorless camera. I love to carry it and pull up to a job with my case and pull out this little camera and build it up, compared to having to have just a bunch of, this, that, and the other. So it's quite interesting. Let's go over a few things real quick. I want to go over what you're getting with the R5 and kind of compare it to the specs a little bit. And yes, B&H has pre-orders up already, and I'm sure there's gonna be 1,000 videos dropping talking about the A7S, because a lot of people got them. I'm just at the point where I just get an email. They just email me when it come out. Yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe, so maybe I can be like one of those guys that can actually show you a camera. I know, like, what is it, Frono's Photo, those guys get all the good stuff. I'm not that big yet. Okay, so Canon R5 is going for $38,900. It's going for $38,900. The A7S III is going to go for $3,500. Let's compare a few things. Let's compare a few things that the R5 is saying that it's giving you real quick while I got you here. And then we're going to go into our second topic of the day, which is talking about pricing, how to price for your business. Let's go over a few things. So the R5, of course, 45 megapixels. So I'm going to tell you now, at 45 megapixels, it's not going to give you half of the low light that the A7S is going to give you. It's too many pixels. It's not going to do it. 5-axis image stabilization in the R5. The A7S is giving you 5.5 axis image stabilization. So a little bit better. The They're giving you 8K RAW, but then you got to think about Canon's RAW history. If it's not a cinema lineup, it hasn't been the best. Canon does a lot of secret limiting with their cameras at certain frame rates, at certain resolutions, but they promote the best. But then you break it down, you're like, well, at the top frame rate, I don't get the top resolution, or yada yada yada. So I'll be getting all the cameras to review soon. I'm gonna start giving this stuff away. Some of this gear, I'm telling you now, some of this gear that they send me, I'm gonna start giving it away. I'm gonna start running contests. Like I may give away a wireless kit. So how's them Sony file sizes? Sony file sizes are actually nice. You're talking about H.265, right? Which is a very compressed, compact file, especially on 4K. You're gonna see a difference. You're gonna see a difference in file size depending on what you have now. However, I'd rather deal with a 4K file than an 8K file. I'm not doing special effects like that. I don't need 8K. It's nice. I like it. But what is 12 minutes of 8K gonna do before the camera overheats? Like, I need a workhorse. You said, give it away. I'm down the street. What is 8 minutes of, let me take this off because I don't need it now. What is 8 minutes of 8K gonna do for me? 12 minutes of 8K gonna do for me? Let's be real. I'm just being honest with you. All right, let's go over a few other specs. There are little things that Sony said that just, if you're a video guy, it tugged at your heart, right? It tugged at your heart. The fact that you get 4K at 120 frames per second, you still get all of the autofocus. You mean to tell me I can shoot at f1.4, lock onto a face at 120 frames per second, move the camera around, stay locked on the eye, have shallow depth of field and slow motion at the same time? That does something to me. That tingles a little bit. That tingles just a little bit. Just a little bit, right? That's crazy. Because I don't see the fact that Canon has advertised dual pixel autofocus in every frame rate and resolution. I don't see where that's put up, like said. Like, those are things that Canon kind of don't mention, and you get the camera and you like, what the? You got to wait for a review. Like, you can't just pre-purchase it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for somebody coming forward talking about the overheating issue, it really wouldn't have been, it really wouldn't have been brought up. Like, it wouldn't have been brought to your attention, the overheating issue, if it wasn't for one of the guys saying, yeah, it warms up. Now they got to address it. Sony flat out said this camera ain't going to overheat. You can shoot until the battery die. We ain't doing that no more. We ain't falling for that banana in the tailpipe no more. We bringing it. So, those are things that, this camera is kind of apples to oranges a little bit. I feel like Canon wanted to replace the 5D Mark IV. And that's cool. They wanted to give you great image resolution as far as a photography camera, as far as a picture camera, and still give you as much video as possible. And the thing is this, right? 12 megapixels for the photography side on the A7S. I'm gonna be just 100 with you. Let's just have a heart to heart, a man to man, a man to female, real photography conversation. In the world of business, I've never delivered a 12 megapixel camera or image to a client. Let's just be real. I got a A7R III. What is it? 45 megapixels. I've never delivered a full high res image in maximum resolution to a client. Is there a need for it? Maybe. If I'm shooting some really high end print work, but as far as digital, no, there isn't a company in the world that want you to come to their website and your browser is going to have to download a 45 megapixel picture. There isn't a company in the world other than Sony who's trying to show you with a full, trying to give you raw images to download and play with. There isn't a company in the world that wants to take the hit from Google rankings because their page takes an extra minute and 20 seconds for you to download a 45 megapixel image on your iPhone. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Right? I'm gonna let you get your breath back because some of y'all punched in the throat. The Megapixel Game is kind of like the resolution game right now. It's kind of like the TV game where they're just throwing out stuff to get you to buy more. You can go get a 4K. I was looking out. You can get a 4K 75-inch TV for $745. Just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was $5,000-$6,000. Right? But there's nothing changing in TV technology, so they have to come up with something to get you to keep buying, to make you upgrade. Man, I got a regular 4K. Now they got 240 hertz. Now they got high dynamic range. Now they got OLED. I need to upgrade because TVs aren't dying. They're lasting just as long as they always last. They just need to give you a reason to upgrade. So resolution is kind of a reason to upgrade. You can either go with Canon, you can get 12K for a short time, or you can go with Sony and get 4K all day. That should have been that tagline, 4K all day. Sony, if you're listening, you can just cut me a check. Just send me 2 of them, and we can call it square. Just send me 2 A7Ss. I'm cheap, right? It should be 4K all day. You can get 8K sometimes. You can get 12 minutes of 8K, or you can get 4K all day. That's really what it is. So as far as a workhorse for video, if you want a mirrorless camera that's a workhorse for video, there isn't a better camera on the market than the Sony A7S III right now. It's just, they gave you what you wanted, which is quality over resolution. I'm happy, right? I'm happy because that camera internally can record at a codec that's perfect for YouTube. And then I can go full-fledged, super 16-bit raw to an external recorder. So you got to know Itemized is going to probably release something, release an update, release some type of device, some type of Ninja, whatever. And they're probably going to come out with a big old Inferno replacement that's huge that will record in 4K 16-bit or maybe an update. I doubt it. But I'm glad that I like it. I have no complaints. I remember back in the day, I had a Blackmagic 4K production camera. It was a pain in the butt to work with because it was not a low light camera, of course, because it's a cinema camera. It was a pain to work with it as a everyday workhorse. I made it happen, and I had to invest in lighting. But it was a pain to work with for my type of job. Like, it was great. I shot movies with it, and the movies looked wonderful. However, when I switched, I went from a 4K production camera to 2 A6500s and fell in love. I thought they were the best cameras ever. At the time, they were excellent. The workflow was easier. I didn't have to, it was just better. I think a lot of people are going to realize that with this camera, 15 plus stops of dynamic range. Think about that. 15 plus stops. That's red territory. Right? Those CFexpress slots make it future capable. Listen, and Sony, that card that Sony released, let me go back to that because they got some type, their new CF card, their new CFexpress type. Sony, I wouldn't be surprised if they open that up where more, because you're gonna get other options. You can get other options. I don't know if that was a traditional. It's not like CFast, so you can get other options, right? You can get cheaper options. Let me see if there's anything available right now. You can get cheaper options, but to have the dual CFexpress SD cards, perfect. That means I can just run regular 4K H.265, which is 90% of what I'm going to be filming. Cool. Let's do it. There are already other cards. So a 512 Pro Grade digital. Well, that's not right. They're saying the pictures say 512, but it's showing 256. 256 gigs for about $350. Actually, 256 gigs, yes, for about $350. 128 gigs for about $199. I see another 120 gigs for $167. So it's up there. I see see, this is saying one thing but showing another. Let me check out the price for 512. Okay, for 1 terabyte, you're looking at $786. The only thing Sony could have done to make this camera really kill, and they kind of touched on it but didn't really go into detail, is having the ability to record externally through the USB-C port. That would have changed it. Like if they would have gave us that, it would have really been game over. Because now, but I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to leave a market for Itemized, which is their homie. Full size HDMI is dope. Color science. Let's talk color science. The Venice color science. It's pretty good. Some people just like the hue, the orange of Canons. Right now I'm on a Canon. Some people say your skin tones look good. You're popping. Your melanin popping. But you know, to each his own. I like the Sony colors. I'm fine with it. I had the FS5 Mark II. It was pretty dope. I'm not really complaining. But for what you get, you literally got a C. I want to almost say a C500 and a mirrorless body. Can we just throw that out there? Let me look at something real quick. You literally got a C500 and a mirrorless body for 1/5 the price. Almost. C500 is what? 5.9K. Cool. Full frame. You definitely got a C300. Let's see. Let me just look at the specs of the C300. C300 Mark II, because you got something close. C300 Mark II. Is that the newest one? Is that the latest one? Yep. C3, you definitely, it just took out everything C300 and below. I want to say it took out everything C500, but C500 is 5.7K. You ain't gonna really use it, but it's great to have. See, the C300 got H.264, not H.265. Don't really offer any high frame rates. 4K at what, 24? So C300 and below is just dead in the water for Canon. They just murdered it. XF AVC codec, boring. Yeah. So listen, the C300 doesn't even record 24-bit audio internally. It records 16-bit. It records 16-bit PCM format at 48K, 48 kilohertz. So listen, you're getting better audio out of that little camera than you are out of C300. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Let me see. So that's just little things like that. If you're a video guy with a flip out screen, it almost makes you want to sell everything and get ready for it. Release date, they're saying, is around September 24th. At $3,500, man, you can't beat that. I almost want to just put everything for sale and get like 2 of them. Maybe not my Ursa. I like my Ursa, but everything else, maybe not my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Even though it's giving me way more stuff. So let's compare it to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, right? Let's compare it. We got to compare it. I think it's the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. I think it's giving you 12-bit RAW. I think it's giving you 12-bit RAW at 13 stops of dynamic range. So let's just look at that for a minute. Now, mind you, it's half the price, so we ain't gonna beat it up too bad, right? So it's giving you 4K 60, which is giving you dual native ISO. And a lot of people was like, why? So why don't the A7S have dual native ISO? Let me explain why it doesn't have dual native ISO, because it doesn't need it, right? It doesn't need it. It doesn't need dual native ISO at all. Again, if you're new to the A7S lineup, is so good in low light. Like you can go to almost 256,000 ISO and get a clean image. That's cleaner than ISO 12,000 on most cameras. Like it is absolutely ridiculously clean. And it is, you can go shoot in an area with no lights, right? You can use your phone screen light, not even the flashlight. You can use the screen light as your key light. That's how good it is. It is ridiculously, it's night vision. I don't understand why the military isn't using it for night vision. Like, it's really that good. You can go in total darkness and use starlight and take a picture and see stuff in the background. Like, you'll see things, you'll be in an area and look through the viewfinder and see stuff that you can't see with your eye. It's ridiculous. Listen, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera ain't safe with this camera in the streets, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you. It ain't safe, man. I don't want to, I'm not. Hey, what I tell you, marry the lens, date the body. Sometimes you gotta break up. So it ain't safe. I don't want to tell you it's safe, man. You may see me come on here doing an unboxing, and you may not see the Pocket Cinema camera in the background. It ain't safe, bro. It ain't safe. And I just want to be real with you. I just want to be real with you. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, it ain't safe, man. 13 stops of dynamic range. Yeah, it ain't. Nothing's safe. The only thing that's safe on my shelf is the Ursa. It ain't safe. You can get 2 Blackmagic cameras for the price. I agree. Yes, but if you've ever carried a mirrorless camera, one, it's gonna be full frame, right? Let's be real. The image quality coming from the A7S is gonna run circles around the Blackmagic. The Blackmagic may look more cinematic because of the color science, maybe, but Venice is pretty good color science. You said make that on the shirt. Make which one on the shirt? So let's just compare. Let's just think about it, right? Let's logically think about it, right? Remember, don't you be marrying these bodies, man. We just date bodies. We marry our glass. We date the bodies, man. So don't be falling in love, y'all. Y'all falling in love. Ditch the 6K. The 6K is only 12, 13. Listen, the most important thing your camera can have, the number one thing in order you should be doing, literally, the number one thing you should be looking at, right? From a video guy, in my opinion, there's 3 things that makes this camera like punch everything else in the throat, right? One, let's be real, is the bit rate. The bit rate. I don't care what camera companies are promising you. If they're not giving you data to take advantage of whatever they're promising you, it's pointless, right? This thing is doing what? 600 megabytes a second? This thing is doing, what's the actual, let me see if I can get an exact number. This thing is giving you, I think I want to say 600 megabytes. Yeah. So bit rates up to 600 megabytes a second. What? I think the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is like 300. So they're giving you all the data in the world for all of this stuff. They're giving you 16-bit external. And I want to say 12-bit or 10-bit internal. Okay. So the 3 things that a lot of videographers want, right? Bit rate, dynamic range, low light capability. Those are the 3 things that's going to, your image is based on, right? Now, low light capability should really be last, because with whatever camera, depending on if it's a cinema camera, you should be lighting your subject, right? The A7S Mark III right now is the king of documentary cameras. I don't care what you got. It's not messing with it. It's the king of documentary cameras. You add the XLR port on top, it's the king of documentary cameras. The GH5 giving you 450 bit rate, but the files are difficult to work with, probably because of their codec. So, yes, 4K 120 internal with autofocus. It's tough to say. Listen, let's go back to the 3 keys. Bit rate, important. I want all 600 megs because I want to be able to push and pull this image. That's a 10-bit image at 15 plus stops of dynamic range. I want to be able to push and pull. When you got a camera that captures low light like that, you'll be able to push and pull and do whatever you need, right? That's absolutely ridiculous. 15 plus stops of dynamic range. That's a dope punch, man. That hurt everybody. Canon is hurting. Blackmagic is hurting. Because look, the new Blackmagic 12K dropped down to 12 stops of dynamic range. 15 is ridiculous. And a lot of people say, well, you know, most of the dynamic range is in the low end, is in the blacks and all, you know, it's deep. You don't even, 3 of them stops don't even matter. Yeah, that's what most cameras, but this camera is so good at low light that those 3 stops are actually usable. So there you have it. He says missing ND filters. I don't think so. ND filters are great, but I'm okay with not having it on the mirrorless body. I'm sure if they wanted to add a glass, those are things like internal NDs. Those are the only things they have left for their cinema lineup, for their FX9, like internal NDs, built-in XLR ports instead of the adapter. This camera is perfect. He said, in practice, my pocket gets more usable dynamic range than the A7 III, even though they're both rated at 13 stops. Okay, Stephen, I think the A7 III is rated at 14 stops. However, you got to think about bit rate. It's 8-bit. It's not going to be able to, the bit rate doesn't support, the bit rate is not giving you all of the data. The camera can create all of the data, but as it pushes it through that 8-bit bit rate, you're going to lose it. Right now they're saying, no more of that. We're going to give you an extra stop and a half of dynamic range and give you the bit rate to support it. What makes the Blackmagic better is it has the bit rate. They're giving you all of the data it's promising you. They're giving you the full 13 stops and the bit rate to support it. The file, you know, so you have the ability to push and pull. So yes, currently, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is offering a better image than my A7Ss or A7Rs currently. Don't need them ND filters in pitch black. True. ND filters are great for shallow depth of field in the daytime. Those Sony mirrorless cameras are just super easy to work with. It's super easy to nail exposure. With Blackmagics, it's a little bit, you gotta, you know, am I exposing to the right? It's just a lot to nail exposure. So, something to think about. Do you think the do you think the Kodak will be ProRes RAW external? That's a great question. I think that is up to Itemized or whatever recorder you decide to go with. Confused if I should buy this or a cinema camera at this point. Seems like a cinema camera rig aesthetically helps some gigs. Having the look that gives clients confidence in spending more. DNA. I used to agree with that, but then I've noticed that 99.9% of my clients pay me before I show up with a camera, right? They pay me long before I walk in the room and say, this is the camera I use. And when they see the final footage, when they see the final product and they like it, they don't care what camera I shot it on and they pay me again. So there used to be a time where you needed to walk in with a big camera to be the big guy and charge a lot. Them days are over with. Don't believe me? Go look at the red Komodo, the little bitty 6K Komodo they got. That's a red. It's little. It's almost the size of something like this with a screen on it. It's a little bit bigger, probably double this, but everybody's getting smaller. It is what it is. And I told you a long time ago, we're going to get to the point where we're shooting on iPads. Camera companies are going to get small. iPads are going to get better. And one day you're going to show up with an iPad and you're going to be shooting it. So I do love Blackmagic RAW. Blackmagic RAW is one thing that Blackmagic definitely have over the competitor. Fun film, good looking out. We're all about business side, so we can shoot on our Sonys, power shots, and still, yes, good looking out on the super chat. I'm gonna apply that towards my A7S III fund. I'm looking at the red Komodo. I need more information about it. Red is really funny on how they are. Like, what made me mad is they're just funny on how they're releasing the information. Like it's a secret or something. Like they're selling them, but they're not, but they are. But I'm just like, bro, like, come on, let it go. Like, put it out there. Let's go. It's always a secret. And then now, you know, now it's what, 6K, it's 4K, you know. Frozen, we're not having a class today at 1. I'm about to switch topics in a minute. We're about to get into it right now. Or you know what? We're gonna do, yeah, we'll do that part of it. We'll switch up and go there in a second. We're gonna talk about pricing, price structure. So They gave you a lot, man. They gave you a lot in a little body. I like that. Smaller is better. Is this a good future-proof upgrade from my 6600? Let me be real. Right now, in the camera game, it's the wild, wild west. Nothing is future-proof. However, the camera industry is always 8 years in front of consumers, right? Nobody is watching 8K TV. Very few people got 4K. Very few people got 4K. And a lot of people got 4K TVs without a 4K signal, right? Because cable companies aren't streaming in 4K. Most are actually 720p. You get a few channels in 1080p, a few, like a handful. Most are 720p. The issue is getting the image to you, right? You're not getting a full uncompressed 4K signal from nowhere, right? Even the video on Blu-ray is compressed to a certain extent. You want full-fledged 4K, go plug up your camera to your TV, and that's probably the best image you're going to ever get in your life, right? The closest thing to it is maybe YouTube, and that's if you don't have it on Apple TV or Apple device, because they are beefing and you can't really get good 4K. I think recently some things changed, but if you got a Samsung TV or something with built-in YouTube, then you may be able to get 4K. But, you know, it's just, you got a 4K TV, you're not getting 4K, full 4K quality to that TV. You'll probably never in your life see the maximum. I'm going to say never in your life. You probably never in the TV's life see the maximum quality. So there's really no way to future-proof it. You know, Ty, HoneyBook is confusing. I've been on, contacts with HoneyBook's experts on Fiverr to help set up my system process for about $100. Good idea? Yeah, a system process is priceless. Good looking out. Say shout out to Ty, love your content. Willem, good looking out, man. I appreciate your support. Somebody said, but Vimeo never loads. Yeah. The video game is all about marketing. I agree. The A7S III will last you ages. Yes, it will. It will last you ages. I don't know what the A7S IV could be other than 6K, 8K. But I could be wrong. I think it's just, if you need a workhorse camera, if you need a workhorse video camera in a mirrorless body, that's as good as it gets, right? It just wiped out half of Canon's lineup. C300 below is gone. It's almost biting into the C500. The only thing the C500 got is 4.7K, 5.7K. That's it. They're both full frame. They both autofocus. One takes a huge honking battery to keep it running all day. You got a viewfinder. The other got a flip out screen, and you can power it for a long time with one V-mount battery. Like, they're giving you the same thing. This Sony camera, and you're getting way better low light from the Sony. This Sony camera didn't just punch the R5 in the throat. It took some cinema lineup with it. Let's just be real. It took some cinema lineup with it. So, yeah, real important. I'm just gonna be 100 with you. Gyro stabilization. Gyro stabilization is great, but think about it like this. Like, listen, there's nothing better than a smaller camera, right? Good looking out, Fun Film. You say I'm about to disrupt the market too. Disrupt? Was that disrupt the market? So for Canon, should we be investing in EF glass or RF? That's a great question. I want to say RF, but I don't know yet. I'm assuming RF, but EF is everywhere, and I can use EF on everything. I'm not worried about Nikon. Let's get this out of the way. I'm not worried about Nikon at all, right? Why? Because Sony makes a lot of their processors, and Sony's not going to let them be too far behind because they still want to sell parts. So Nikon will still be in the game. They're probably going to release something that's similar to the A7S III minus one or two things. You know, they may release a higher megapixel version of something that offers RAW externally that is good for photography, and, you know, something similar. So I'm not worried about them. How do you think it'll match up with the Limix line? GH5, listen, I love Panasonic. I love their color science. They don't want it with Sony. They don't want it with Sony. I'm gonna tell you where they fall short, and a lot of people may not agree with me, but they fall short in the lens game. We talking about the lens game. They need more full frame stuff. More full frame stuff. Another thing you got to think about when you're comparing the Blackmagic, let's go back to this Sony. We're talking about micro four thirds compared to full frame. There's really nothing to talk about. I'm taking full frame 100% of the time. 100% of the time. It ain't nothing to talk about. I'm sorry. Now, if it was Super 35, yeah, cool. I'm cool with a Super 35 for video. I'm perfectly fine with it. But full frame compared to micro four thirds, I'm out. I'm Audi 5000. Now, if you got a 6K, that may be a little different. It's close. But dynamic range, low light capability, Pocket or A7S III, it's not even close. A7S III. If you got cash and you're looking to buy one right now, I'm going A7S III. It's not even close. I'm sorry. I'm not, I love my Pocket, but I'm not a fanboy to nobody but glass. My favorite glass right now is Sigma because they're bringing it. A sleeper camera that never took off is the EV1 from Panasonic. Also, what about the Zcam F6? Okay, real quick. I like the EV cam. It didn't take off really because it was a Panasonic. I'm just going to be real with you. And it was weird. It was weird in a way that it didn't have a viewfinder, and that just turned people off. They should have put some crappy viewfinder on it. I don't care about it, but the majority of old guys who have the money to buy these cameras, like, it ain't got a viewfinder on it. How am I going to see? Now, they don't even use the viewfinder 90% of the time. How am I going to see? But and it's red. So, yeah. Zcams, I like Zcams. I don't like how modular they are. That it backfired, in my opinion, right? They're trying to be as modular as a Red without the accessory lineup as a Red. I don't want to have to go get an Itemized this and this, that, and that this to get this to work. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to go to Zcam and order everything in a package. That's just my opinion. Some features are cool where you can use like your cell phone to control it, but I'm not really sold on their color science like that. Like, I'm just not. What hurts Zcam is that they're a new company. If Apple bought them, then we can talk. So I've used my Ursa 4.6. Do I really need to upgrade to newer models? If you got an Ursa, as long as you are Pro and above, yes, you're good. Regular 4.6, and don't got Blackmagic Raw, I ain't crazy about it. I personally wouldn't touch one. I wouldn't touch one. So, will the A7 III be a good backup to the A7? Yes. Anything in the Sony lineup would be just fine. Anything in the Sony lineup would be just fine. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's talk about pricing, right? Because I want to break down my pricing structure. and I want to talk about that for those who are having a little bit of a hard time with pricing. Which Sigma lens is your favorite to go to? I'm deciding between Sigma and RF glass myself. Good looking out on the Super Chat Red Base. Let's talk about that real quick and then we'll get back into pricing. My favorite video lens of all time, second to none, nothing else to talk about, up for debate, is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. It is a game changer. That's the way to go, in my opinion. So, all right. So let's talk about pricing, right? And I'm gonna tell you about how I do my pricing. This ain't everybody, everybody don't do it like I do it. My way is my way. It's a way I found and I've adapted and I've continued to use it and it works for me, right? And I'm getting emails. Oh, that's from, Sony. They're saying, hey, we really want to send you a camera, but you don't have 1 million subscribers, so we can't. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. One day. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so I can have 1 million subscribers and they can send me free cameras. All right. Should I throw away my A7S II when I get to 3? Nope, because it'll be a good B cam. let's talk about pricing, right? Let's talk about pricing. You came here to learn about the camera. Let's also teach you how to price stuff. Now, I use a different pricing method than most content creators that you're going to run across online. They have their way. I have my way, right? This is my way of doing it. This is the Thai way, all right? So don't cause beef with your other YouTuber, because I'm from Detroit. I don't do much talking. I just roll up. I pull up, all right? I pull up on you. So this is my way of doing it. I use what's called a base price structure, right? I'm not going to say necessarily hourly, quarter day rate, half day rate, full day rate. I use what's called a base price structure. Why do I use this, and how does this work? Okay. Why do I use it? It's because for me to show up for 1 hour, my pockets are satisfied, right? My pockets are satisfied if I only got to do 1 hour with you. I'm good. I made what I need to make for the day. Everything else is bonus. I can go to the crib, catch me an episode of the first 48 in the nap. I don't care. I can go watch Sanford and Son, whatever. I don't care. So the way this price structure works is you got to realistically think, what does it cost to get you out of bed, right? Some of y'all got a price on what it costs to get you in bed, and that's your business. However you make your 40 is on you. But it's a cost to get out of bed, right? So whatever your cost to get out of bed is your base rate, your first hour rate, right? The way mine is broken down is simple. The way mine is broken down is simple, right? For a single cameraman to show up, for number purposes, let's say my base rate is $1,000. Your first hour is $1,000. So what's included in that? What you get for a rack? What you get for $1,000, Ty? Okay, you get a single camera, and that's it. You get us to show up with a single camera, and that's it. Now, each additional hour may be $150 an hour. So if I'm there for 2 hours, I'm making $1,150. That's just, I'm giving you easy numbers. That's not my actual number, but I'm giving you easy numbers. Easy numbers. So if I show up for an hour, if somebody like, yo, we just need you to come down and just film the blah, 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 it's going to take you 30 minutes. Cool. Off top, I can tell you it's a rack. It's $1,000. Let's do business. I don't have to think about nothing. I don't got to think about nothing. Boom. In that $1,000, I'll bring a single camera, a tripod, some audio equipment. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So if it go 2 hours, I know it's $1,150. If it go 3 hours, it's $1,300. And we can go all day. After 8 hours, then that $150 will turn into $250 because that's overtime. That's how I work it. Now, how do you itemize that, Ty? What happens if, hey, if we're going to shoot an interview that requires a second camera, then that means you got to get a second shooter. For me to show up for one camera means I'm there to only capture B-roll. And the only thing I do with a one camera guy is capture B-roll or documentary style filming, right? That's not setting up lights. That's not doing interviews. That's me walking around with a camera on somebody using natural lights. I'm filming stuff as stuff go on and happen throughout the event. Sorta, right? That's just a one-man crew. For me to do an interview means I have to have an audio guy, or we have to set up lighting, right? So for me to do any type of interview, I got to do a 2-man shoot, minimum 2-man shoot, right? Any type of interviewing is a 2-man shoot because I like to have somebody on audio, so to speak. I like to have a second hand. Now, my base price for a 2-man shoot is usually, let's say if my single man is $1,000, my 2-man shoot is going to be $500 or $1,500. I'm sorry. It's going to be $1,500. Let's say it's $1,500, and these are easy numbers I'm giving you, but I usually make it a 50% increase. Now, as a businessman, I know that my second shooter day rate only costs me $250. So I make $250 for him to show up. He make $250 for him to show up. Mind you, that's his day rate. So if we're there for 4 hours, right, and my base rate is $1,500, and my hourly rate now is $250 instead of $150. Every hour that go by that he's there, I continue to make profit. That's how it should be. It's business. So again, 2 guys on location, base pay of $1,500 for the first hour, and then $250 for each additional hour. Now you got to set the bar on why do a client needs 2 men, right? 3 guys. When do you go to 4 guys? Hey, if I need a drone operator, you got to get a 3-man shoot, because the FAA says I need to have a pilot and somebody to look out, right? And then I need to have myself to direct it. So for a drone shoot, we need to have a 3-man crew. Now that 3-man crew can do different stuff. That 3-man crew can be your main shooter, your audio guy, plus a second camera when we're not droning. We may shoot an interview for the first 2 hours and then do another 2 hours of drone work. So if you got a 3-man crew for 4 hours, that's what you get. You know, if I had a Cash App, we can have it go directly to you. I don't even know. I think I missed half that. But that's what you get. That's what you get, you know. So you want to set up what requires what? 1-man shoot, B-roll, documentary style shooting. 2-man shoot, any type of interview, anything that requires lighting, anything that requires audio from a person. All right, Fun Film. I'll see you next time. Good looking out on the super chat. 3-man crew, slider, drone, jib operator, gimbal. That's 3-man crew, right? So if 1-man crew is $1,000 base price, $150 an hour. 2-man crew is $1,500 base price, $250 an hour. 3-man crew is $2,000 base price, $300 an hour. You can keep going until you get to an 80-man crew. It's up to you. But that's how I base mine out. Again, why do I base my pricing this way? One, off the top of my head, I can almost quote just about anything. Hey, we want to shoot testimonials from our CEO. You know, it's going to take about an hour. Cool. 2-man crew, 1 hour, $1,500. Now, I wouldn't just tell them that, because I'm going to itemize it and tell you what you're getting in that 2-man crew. But, you know, you in your mind, you know what the ballpark is. Hey, do you know what you think it would be? Oh, those jobs usually started around $2,000 or $1,999, however you want to do it, however you want to say it. But you know in your head, you already know what you're working with. Now, I would itemize the proposal to show a lot of stuff, right? 1-man crew, we're going to bring, I don't do packages like camera gear. I bring the best camera I got. We're going to shoot it in the best quality I got, period. I'm not going to charge you for this camera over that camera unless the client requests it, which is rare. We did some stuff for Ford. They was shooting on a C500 in California and wanted to come here and do some, you know, some Texas stuff and wanted another C-Log camera. Cool. We can do that. So, you know, then I would charge you for that rental. In my mind, I'm gonna charge you for that package, and it's gonna be double my rental fee, because I got to make some money off of it. Never charge cost. Always charge above cost. So that's how I price mine. So again, if you go with the 1-camera package, you're gonna get 1 camera guy, a Blackmagic Ursa 4K, you know, shotgun audio, you know, whatever. If I got to come out with a gimbal, it's just me and the gimbal. Cool. The price doesn't change. Right? Now, if I do a 2-man, depending on what I have that second man do will determine what will be itemized. He will either be a slider operator. He's going to be a second camera operator or an audio guy. Usually with an interview, he's going to be an audio guy, because I want you to get a third guy with a second camera. So my number two is going to be audio guy, because that you need that for interviews. Number 3 is going to be a second camera, right? So that's usually how I break it down. Then I add things to it like, do you want a makeup artist, right? Makeup artist is the same way. This is the base price for the makeup artist, right? You can have her show up, at 9 o'clock and do everybody makeup and she gone, I'm gonna make sure it's double her day rate. Now she's happy because she's there for an hour. She got a day rate. If I ask her to stick around, she'll stick around. If she got a day rate, so she don't care, right? She don't care. She got a day rate. I got you coming up, Roger. Good looking out on the super chat. Jay Wonder Trust. I'm gonna get to that question in a minute. So she can stick around as long as I need her to stick around. I can cut her loose as long as I want to cut her loose. If I'm charging a base rate plus an hourly for her, and I may say, hey, client, we're shooting all throughout the day. You may get makeup at 9 and you may want to touch it up at 3 because you're sweating or moving. I would keep a makeup artist on site all day. Good looking out on the super chat, Frozen. Ronald, good looking out on the super chat. So I would like, it would be better if we can keep the makeup artist on all day. Hey, Ty, you're right. We got 10 people to interview. We just want to keep makeup to touch. And I tell people, hey, we're shooting in 4K here. Everything that you're worried about is going to come through in brilliant high resolution. You want to make sure you have and even women, I tell women, listen, TV makeup is a little different than regular makeup. That bathroom lighting you've been doing that makeup in or in your sun visor as you drive, we're going to add a whole lot of lighting that's going to expose everything. So TV makeup is a little bit different than regular makeup. That's how I sell my MUA 90% of the time. I tell somebody, go look at the news. Their makeup is a little different than your makeup. I know you've been doing your makeup for years, but TV makeup is a little bit different, in which it is. They work harder to make sure you don't shine and you look better. So my MUA is a la carte. Then I do teleprompter, base rate plus hourly, a la carte. Those are things that you add. Drone operator, again, is the 3-man shoot, so it's kind of a la carte. Those are things that I kind of itemize out, right? So this also applies to editing. This is the price for me to show up and shoot it. This is not the price for me to edit. I edit based on the final video, how long it's going to take for the final video. So what does it cost me to boot up my machine and edit for you? The base price could be $500 for the first minute of edited video. That way, if I got somebody who's like, yo, we just need a minute. Cool, $500. Each additional minute of edited footage is $100, or whatever your base price is $100. So that way, if I'm shooting a 10-minute video, I know off the top of my head to edit it, it's $500 for the first minute, $900 for each additional minute. A 10-minute video is $1,400. I don't got to go and calculate and carry it. I can tell you off rip, that's what it is. So if I'm doing a job for you and we're doing a 3-man job, just off simple math, I can tell you 3-man job is going to be $2,000. Let's say it's a 3-man. Let's say we're shooting real quick. We're shooting a 2-minute video that takes 3 hours to shoot and we need 3 guys, right? I'm gonna tell you how I can just instantly in my head calculate it, right? 3-hour job, 2-man shoot. $2,000 base pay, $250 for each additional hour. So that's $2,500 for the shoot. 3-hour video, $500 base for the first minute. I'm sorry, 3-minute video, $5 base for the first minute, $200 for each additional minute. That tells me that my total is $3,200 for the shoot. I already know. If it go over in time, the client already know what it cost them to be like, hey, can you guys stay an extra hour? The client already know. I don't have to renegotiate that. It's not a shock to them. They see the hourly breakdown. Just like that, I can quote a price off the top of my head based off what they give me for time and stuff. So real quick, there's some questions that pop up that I want to make sure I answer. How many clients do you usually have in a year? That's a great question. I want to say close to 200, somewhere in the 150 to 200 range. I before COVID, man, easily 3 clients a week. And that's me turning stuff down. I can do more, but I enjoy my piece. All right, what if you're shooting an event and they want to interview testimony at the end of the event? What kind of crew are you thinking of? Okay, so for me to shoot any type of thing that's lit, that's lighting, I gotta have 2 people there. I'm not gonna have a second guy show up at the end of the day for that 1 hour. You're gonna pay for a 2-man crew, period. So that 2-man crew, is going to be that 2-man crew. You're going if the event is 8 hours, you're paying for 8 hours of a 2-man crew. Period. Ain't nothing to talk about. So this list, should you list these different services on the card option on your website or in the proposal? Only in the proposal, because in the proposal, I break down why you need it. That way you can click the check next to it when I use Proposify. And even, even when I talk to people, I know interview, okay, minimum 2-man crew. That's how I do it. Should you list these different services? Wait, I read that one. How do you price an audio guy different from a second shooter? I don't, right? Because they're both going to cost me the same amount of labor. They're both costing me $250 a day. Cool. I don't list a different price. The second body is what you're paying for. I don't care what I get them to do. Because most of my audio guys can run cameras. Most of my camera guys can run audio. And really, we're not running no special type of crazy audio that requires, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing crazy. It's either a boom operator, and usually I'm doing something where it's a stagnant shot. Like I'm using I got a boom pole holder and it's running to one of our cameras and we're just monitoring audio. Like it's not really, unless I got a audio guy that's running around with a boom pole with the audio bag and he's chasing somebody, but very rarely do I do that in corporate America, in doing corporate videos. Listen, corporate videos are going to be the easiest videos you'll ever shoot in your life that pay the most, period. So that's how I usually run it. I work with girls who want to do their own makeup, tons of highlighter, reflective gloss. They end up looking like Silver Surfer. Steven says, listen, that's true. But people want, makeup artist is something you have to sell, right? It's something you have to sell. It's almost a pure profit item for you as a business owner. You have to sell it. And you got to tell people, hey, regular makeup under these lights ain't gonna cut it. Go look at the news. They're not wearing regular makeup for a reason. This camera and these lights are going to expose everything. The last thing I want you to do is not be happy with how you look on camera, and then we have to reshoot it. So that's something you want to sell. My personal experience, although I've solid portfolio, is very hard to pull such a price. I live in an area with many talented videographers, the low demand and high supply. You can get away with it. You just may have to lower your base price. You may have to fluctuate your price based on your market. And the thing is this, listen, if at any time you can't get a livable wage, you're not offering enough value, right? You're not offering enough quality. I told you all the time, when my demo reel changed, my pockets changed because I started offering better quality. I started offering more value with my service. So people started paying. As simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can almost give away something. You can have a great product and beg people to use it. And if they don't see the value in it, they won't do it. Like, they just won't. They don't care what the price is. The thing is, most people only compete with price. Your only card is price. If me and you sit side by side and they're interviewing us to be a video production company, and the only thing you could say is, but we'll do it for $200 cheaper, you failed. That's not, you gotta offer value. You gotta offer value, because that guy's saying, hey, we could shoot your video and we'll shoot it for $1,000. He talking about $2,000, I'm gonna do it for $1,000. Yeah, but we're gonna look at your target audience to see what works. We're gonna sit down with you and we're gonna design content that go after your target audience to help you achieve the goals that you're looking to achieve, whether it be ROI or increase client engagement or have more people on your Facebook page. We have a history of creating content that does just that. He's just gonna shoot your video. That's why his is 1,000 and mine is 3. So you can have this guy show up and hit record while you figure it out and edit it and give it back to you and tell you best of luck. Or you can have a team that's going to look at who your target audience is, what your business does well, and come up with a way to help display that to your target audience in a way where we have a strong call to action, and we make your target audience do what it is you want them to do. So you can pay $1,000 for that, or you can pay $3,000 for this. Value. It's all about value. If you're not offering value, everybody gonna seem like ain't nobody spending money. When I hear ain't nobody spending money, ain't nobody out here, they don't want to pay, ain't nobody trying to, That's what I hear is guys just like, I got a camera, I'm a videographer, give me money. And they're like, I don't know. So it's about value. Corporate video will pad your pockets. That's correct. And fund your passion projects. I agree. Can you teach how I do a proposal? I can't really go into it fully because it's a lot to it. That's something that's one of the holdups of the master course is trying to make sure I can explain that properly. I use Proposify and a little bit of HoneyBook, but there are some things I like to lay out in my proposal that I'm gonna go over. Do you use Fiverr voiceover for your demo reel? And did you have the voiceover done first on the demo reel? I did use Fiverr for demo reel. There's a course, 5 key steps for creating an effective portfolio that converts, that go over everything as far as how to build a demo reel like mine. But yeah, I definitely use Fiverr. The thing is this, a saturated market is a beautiful place, right? It tells you that there's a lot of business there. It's your job to create market share, right? Right now, if you make cookies, you can be like, oh, I ain't gonna really make no cookies, man. Everybody making cookies. How am I gonna survive when they got all these cookie choices? By making a damn good cookie. You know people are spending money. If it's an aisle full of cookies, go to your grocery store. It's a whole aisle dedicated to cookies. That means a lot of people buy cookies. That means if you can make a cookie that's really good and get 25% of the sales in that aisle, you'll have a $1 billion company. You'll have a $1 billion company, right? Just like bread, there's a lot of bread at your stores. There's a whole aisle of bread. Don't stop making bread. Find a way to make better bread so you can get more of that market share. That's a real business idea. When people enter the market, they want to take market share. Sony could have been like, it's enough cameras out here. Y'all got enough 4K. Why we going? No, we're going to make the best 4K camera money can buy right now or within this price range. So that's something to think about. I'm out here in the business actively, but listening all morning, thinking of how to apply this to my hustle. And I hit the like button, so I'm going to be hyped. Yeah, the thing is, you have to offer value. I told you yesterday in a video, where you're a therapist, you're a doctor, stop being a drug dealer, right? And for those who missed that video, let me go into detail real quick. As a therapist, you're going to listen to your client. You're going to offer a solution. As a drug dealer, you just going, hey man, we do video. Hey man, what video you want? Boom. As a therapist, I'm going to listen to why they want a video. Hey, numbers are slipping. A lot of people don't know we do takeout. COVID is killing us. We need a video. Okay. I know because I work in this niche a lot, what works and what don't. I have an idea of what works and what don't. Tell me more about your target audience. Tell me more about who shops at your restaurant. My target audience is, usually people over 55 or people over 40. They like to come in and drink coffee all day and read the newspaper. Cool. So I know as a filmmaker, as a videographer, I know that older people like longer shots. Look at Westerns. Them shots be long as I don't know what. Just the eye shot. Do. Wow, wow, wow. They just gaze in each other's eyes for a minute before they like longer shots. They like wide shots. Older people do. Younger people like quick, boom, 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 shot. Look at music videos, right? They're not long. If you go back and look at older music videos, back in the day, cats would be doing the same dance step for 20 seconds and that one shot. New videos is like cut. Attention spans are shorter, right? TikTok era, Vine era, 60-second videos. We ain't got all day. So if your target audience is younger, they're going to want faster shots. If they're older, they're going to want slower shots, more wide shots, more panning shots. That's something so little that you can walk into a meeting and drop on a client and it'll get you the job. Like, wow. What? Listen to me. Get your paper and pencil. Ask them what their target audience is. Literally. If it's below 40, tell them, perfect. Target audience is below 40, like faster shots. So I'll keep that in mind as we shoot this to offer more shots. If it's above 40, tell them, hey, target audience is above 40, usually like longer shots, pans. They like colorful items, but not very vibrant. Now we have an idea of what type of color we want for the shot. Like that little stuff would be like, what? We never thought. Of course you didn't think about that. That's why you hired me. That's why I'm the guy you want to bring in to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. Though that's something little that you can just slap them, you can just pow in the throat, and they'd be like, oh, I never thought about that. That's what you want your client to say, I never thought about that. We never thought about that. That's mind blowing. I don't, that's what you want them to say. Because then they understand that you bring value to the table. They understand that you know what you're talking about, compared to the last guy that was like, yeah, we can shoot that. A commercial for your Facebook? Yeah, we can do that. And ask no questions. Who's your target audience? What are we trying to do? What's the purpose of it? You need to ask those questions. All right. I'm giving it to you. That's a little, I promise you, literally go to your next client, and while they're like, we need a video for yada, 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 and be like, quick question. Who's your target audience? Who is this video for? It's for our employees we hire so that they can, what's the age range normally of your employees? Well, right now, at Taco Hut, we're hiring a lot of teenagers and blah, blah, blah. Teenagers, okay. I just want to, that's information that we like to have so that we can understand the style of video we need to shoot. Teenagers typically want a faster paced video. It helps hold their attention. So if you're teaching training and it's important that they learn these steps, it's important that we film it in a way to keep their attention. I don't want to just shoot a standard video not knowing who our target audience is. Our goal is to help you train these associates in a way where they become, better employees, really more profitable. Let's be real. And in doing so, we want to make sure that we shoot the video in a way that will hold their attention so that they can gain the knowledge that you're trying to teach them. Those are things that we specialize here in such and such media company. It's making sure that we create content for our target audience. Say that. And the check will just arrive. It'll just magically appear on your desk. You'll hear a harp like, and the check will just be like right there. You'll go check your bank account and you'll hit refresh and the money will be there. Because they're not getting that. They're not getting the therapist doctor. They're getting yeah, we can do the video. We can do that. We can shoot the video. Get that out of here. So I'm giving you the game, bro. 2 easy payments of free $99 today. Giving you the game. So offer more value. That pricing structure breaks it down to the point where clients understand why. 2 people, duh. I need an audio guy. We need to get that audio guy set up lighting for an interview. Makes sense. I see why the price is this much. I see why the price is. Because I've had people look at a 2-man crew and be like, you know what? Let's do a 3-man crew. It'll be nice to have a slider or, blah, blah. Let's do a 3-man crew. You can break the third guy down however you want. Slider, crane, jib, drone, whatever's right for that job, you can have it listed and let them click on it. I like to set up my proposals where they spend their own money. I don't like to, hey, this is the base on what we can do for that price. Here's some options you can add if you feel the need. And you make sure your proposal explain why a teleprompter is important. Hey, if you're not comfortable in front of a camera, often people find that teleprompters make things easier. You can easily send me over your documents. We'll have it loaded. We'll have the ability to play it in front of you, and you can read right into the camera. Cool, boom. Slider shots, add this, that, and the other. Drone shots, add this, that, and the other. Extra B-roll will help your video stand out and look much better if we have time for a third guy to stick around and get B-roll. A background photographer will help with social media because it'll show us as we capture these images, as we capture this video or images, so that you can have behind the scenes shots and more social media content. Let's get double the ROI from this shoot by having more people there to capture stuff that you can put on your social media. Now I'm up to a 4-man crew. Now our base price is like $4,500, and then we're charging $1,000 an hour, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let them add that on. Business clients want the best they can get within their budget. That way, If they got a big budget and you give them that's the only way to recover from being sort of cheap, is offering a base and let them pick. So that's things that, this is my method of billing. This is my method of pricing. Everybody don't do it like I do it. Some people still do old school. They charge for the kit, charge for yada, yada, yada. I don't do it like that. Even if you're doing photography. Now, mine is headshots. If I'm doing corporate photography, corporate event photography, I'm charging a base price of whatever, $500 for the first hour, $150 for each additional hour. You got an 8-hour event? Cool, that's easy math. Good looking out on the super chat. Media Smith just got here because you started this like 4 hours early, tax. Yes, I covered the A7S event. So yeah, it's a little early. So those are things to think about. Those are things you got to think about. I never used to break down when I was shooting, but it makes perfect sense and structure. You want to itemize everything. If you want to make a big bill make sense, itemize it. If you went to a dealership and it said, Camaro Z28, 43,000, you would be like, I don't know. But when it says anti-lock brakes, upgraded brake system, leather seats, AC, dual climate zone, rear window defoggers, roll down windows, 18-inch tires, high-rated, Z-rated, 18-inch wheels, high-rated, Z-rated tires, traction control, you like, dang, I'm getting a lot for this 43,000. Let's go. It's only 40. You see what I'm getting for 43,000? It's a lot. I got the upgraded blah, blah, blah to the, turbocharged, they tell you unleaded gas. What the heck? What is the unleaded gas price? Whatever. They itemize everything because it's a big purchase. A lot of people aren't getting big purchases because you aren't itemizing it. You're telling the client video, 2-minute video, $10,000. And you praying that they just like, what? It don't even seem like it. Right? When you go places and you buy a lot of stuff, they give you a long receipt for a reason. It's psychological. It's psychological. Itemizing helps people feel comfortable about spending money. Itemize everything. I'd itemize my shirt color. You want me to wear a white shirt? Want me to wear a gray shirt? I've done it before. I've had events where they're like, we need you guys in all gray. Like, what? We need you guys in all black. That's going on. I'm itemizing that. EMPVIS. I kind of want to butcher it. I'm going to say it wrong. But I appreciate your super chat, bro. Itemizing pricing is the way forward. Yes. So itemize it, right? Get your base price. Get your money. Get your bread. If I'm only there for 1 hour, what does it take for the rest of my day to be happy? What does it take where I don't care if it's just an hour shoot, right? Because usually you want to be there. You want a day rate. You want a half day rate. What does it take for you to be like, all right, I'm good. The rest of this is bonus. Bills are paid. This is blow money, right? This is new A7S Mark III money. Bills are paid though. What does it take for you to get that, right? Whatever it takes for you to get that base price. Now, you ain't got to hit them over the head. You just got to get something where when your alarm clock go off the first time, you jump out of bed like, woo, yes, let's go. What does it cost for you not to need coffee that day? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what that is. Memphis. Okay, good looking out. I got it now. So what does it cost for you to be, listen, we've all had a job. If you haven't, sit tight because it's coming to you. We've all had a job where we were booked for something and we made good money. And when that alarm clock went off, we jumped out of bed and was ready to go work. I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. I'm about to buy this. I'm about to buy that. I've had my Amazon cart set up. So soon as the direct deposit was approved, I'm like, cash me out. Buy now. What does that cost look like? Tax Alexander, good looking out. Thank you for all your contributions. Purchase the Proposify after you explain the value. Proposify is the truth. I got a link in the description. I love Proposify. Do you itemize gear too, or just services or provided at the end? So I don't itemize gear. Let me be clear. The gear is itemized with the person, right? So I'll give you an example. The base price is going to show one man and the gear. Then I'll have 3 separate slots for the second shooter, right? The second shooter may say, I want a camera guy with a slider. I want a camera guy with a gimbal. I want a camera guy with a drone. Now, them 3 are going to be the same in my book. I'm just letting the client choose one and feel like they're empowered. I was thinking about getting, because they've been to pick the guy for a slider and a guy for a drone. Now I got a 3-man shoot. Mind you, in the base price, my cost for their day rate is already there. And I'm still making money plus the hourly rate. If you're not making triple off with somebody, you're paying somebody for a day rate, you are getting robbed as a business owner. Naja Davis, good looking out on the super chat. How do you price longer form edits that are long interviews covered with B-roll? Video could be 15 plus, same $100 an hour. Yes. Base price plus $100 per, not an hour, per final editing minute. With editing, I do it like that. How long of a video do you want? If you say, I don't know, I need an area. You can't, I don't want somebody to tell me, let's see. No, because I'm going to turn in a 30-minute video and I'm going to charge you for it. So I usually, in the proposal, I have an agreed time limit for the video, right? We're looking to get 5 2-minute videos. That's cool. That's, you know, we'll break it down where the first minute is the brace and then I'll add them all up. Now, if they call me back later and say, we need you to re-edit that into something different, base price again, plus hourly. Base price again, plus hourly. Mind you, with editing, I do final minute. I don't do hourly of editing because a 2-minute video, the client can't understand why it would take you 6 hours to edit a 2-minute video. However, that's why I got a base rate of $500 for the first minute, $100 for each additional minute. Mind you, it's raining outside, so if you hear some noise, I apologize. Hopefully we don't get any lightning to kick me off. But so that way clients know, I can tell you what a 2-minute video costs. Now that includes color grading, audio editing, whatever. A la carte would be royalty-free music, voiceovers, captioning, closed captioning. There's companies like rev.com, REV, that does $1 a minute. I may charge a client $25 a minute. Make a $24 profit to offer closed captioning. What I usually do with clients, I'm gonna tell you what's a big place of profit that I usually works for me, is anytime we have a client that has a video that has voiceover, I like to offer it in multiple languages. Hey, is your user base, do they speak Spanish? They probably do. Let's have the same video in English and Spanish, right? That just doubled my money, and it cost me another $20 to go on Fiverr to have somebody create a voiceover in Spanish for me. I just doubled my bread. Or at least offered it as an a la carte item where it's another $200. That's an a la carte item, voiceover in Spanish or whatever language you want. Too easy. You want me to write the script? That's an a la carte item. You want us to come up with the concept outside of what you have, tweaking it? We'll come up with we'll write the script. That's an a la carte item. That's another $400 or $500 thing. And pre-production, because pre-production is the same thing. Base plus hourly. Pre-production. You want us to write the script? $500. How many pages? How many videos are we writing? Boom, 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 boom. Everything is like that. It's easy for me to do the math. It's easy for clients to understand. If they go over, there's no negotiating, fighting, or figuring out. They know, hey, I'm gonna need you guys here for an extra 2 hours because the boss is late in the meeting. No problem. They seen the proposal. They know what it is. They're not shocked. Everybody's happy. That plus knowing that, right? You get clients that come back once you work with a client and they like your work, they can look at the proposal and they can fight for funding next year or budget to come back and say, we need 2 4-minute videos, blah, 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 blah. Looking at your proposal last time, it was $8,500. We got approved for 2 of those. Let's do it, Ty. When they come back, they already know what it is. And you don't want to be the guy that's eyeballing it like, I'm going to charge y'all this time. You know what I'm saying? No, make it easier for them. Because clients that like you will fight for more budget. If they get a return off their investment, they will fight for more budget. And it's a lot easier for them to know what the price is. Because they can take that to their boss and say, this is what we need. This is why we need it. This is the dollar amount we need. Perfect. So that's how you want to do it. So with photography for editing, would you do base price plus hourly price on editing pictures, for example? So what I usually do for photography editing, that's a great question, really good question. What I usually do is the photography editing is built into the price of photography. For me, if you do corporate photography, let's say we got a 3-hour event for corporate photography, right? 3-hour event for corporate photography. I'm gonna do a $500 base, and it's just easy numbers to make it easy. Whatever your base is determines by your location, whatever, where you are. It's determined by you. Just don't take it dollar for dollar. But let's say for corporate event photography, I'm doing $500 base, then $100 for each additional hour. So if they got a 3-hour event, I know it's $700. That includes photo editing as well. For me, I use Shoot-Proof. That includes me creating a not a portfolio, but a album online that clients have the ability to share and buy prints, buy mugs, and whatever they want. If you use Shoot-Proof, you want to get the features of that album and what clients can get from using that album and itemize that on your invoice. So you're also getting photography, you're getting a photo album, you're getting the ability to buy prints, you're getting the ability to download. All of that stuff needs to be itemized. Whatever service you're using for distribution, or whatever service you're using to enhance your brand, those things need to be itemized on your proposal. You're selling that as well. If you're using Vimeo, you want to itemize the fact that the client will have access to that video on Vimeo forever, and they have the ability to download it in different formats. That is something that needs to be itemized on that bill when it comes to video editing or the post-production side. Frozen, good looking out on the super chat. How does a la carte work for Proposify? Is there a place where clients can check and uncheck? Yes. On the budget page of Proposify, you can create a optional item on the budget page where you can create something, put in a price, and check it or uncheck it. In fact, it'll even let you decide whether or not you want it to arrive to the client pre-checked or not. So you can check it and just have it there, and the client can go through and be like, nah, I don't want it, uncheck it, right? So you can do that with Proposify. So, something to think about. Let me see. What does your consultant look like for mentoring? So right now we're doing half-hour consulting. We're going to move into coaching soon. I got to get this course out though. But right now we're doing consulting. Where's one-on-one phone call? Listen, it's like a therapist. I am your content creation therapist, right? I like to listen to, hey, I had a problem doing this. We tried to do that. We did this. It's not working. Help me. Y'all know the Kevin Hart. I ain't gonna say the rest, but y'all know the Kevin Hart. Help me. I am there for you. I like to look at it and say, okay, this is what we need to change. This is what we need to do. And go on to Facebook, our Facebook group. You'll see some people in there who have built their stuff, man. And they were, they built it and they started with, hey, I have an idea. Hey, Ty, I have an idea. What can I do with this idea? This is what you can do with this idea. So, Ty, the believe guy. I like that. I used to call myself Ty, the camera guy. True story. He said he went back to corporate America, fight for higher budget. Yeah. So he's pretty much saying that he had a client that worked with him, went back and fought for a higher budget. When you itemize things, people can understand why the cost is there. It makes more sense. It makes more sense, right? Think about it. You go to McDonald's and they show you a picture and they just like combo one. You're like, I don't know what that is. But if they say it's a double 2 cheeseburger with pickles and onions and you get a, half slab of meat with a 23-ounce drink, it makes sense. You're like, okay, let's do it. More information, better. Where can I find a list of extra services used to make jobs easier and ultimately get the product done at the highest value? I have a list if you go to flashfilmacademy.com, there's a gear list link that talks about gear lists, services, all of that.
I'm Ashley Curry, CEO.
That's on, my bad. That's on flashfilmacademy.com. I'll post a link, but it has a list to all of the services and gear that I use. That link didn't come out as well, but you know what I mean. We need more of this type of business content. Do you offer videos on the side? On the channel, I do this all day, every day. All day, every day. If you go back and look at other lives, other videos, you will see a ton of videos where I'm bringing it like this all day, every day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. What if clients don't choose royalty-free music? What do you offer? I offer a contract saying that I'm not liable to get sued because you want to use Britney Spears tracks on your video. That's what I offer. I offer the ability to make sure I don't go down with you. That's what I offer. You can use whatever video you want, but I'm not going to be held responsible for it. My job is to advise you not to. But if you choose to, I'm just a lawyer. Hey, man, if you want to, you may not want to get on the stand and say that. But if you choose to say that, just know that I told you not to say that. So I get clients that want to use stuff. Y'all gonna use it internally? Let me tell you what could happen. You could possibly get sued. Let me tell you how YouTube works. You're not gonna make ad revenue off of it. And it could be a problem if you're using it to advertise your business. If you're looking to get some type of ROI, it can be a big issue. But as long as you know that, sign here, that's on you. And I'm gonna be honest with you. That part is written into a majority of the video production contracts we offer. We're not liable for it. I'm not liable for it, bro. That's on you. Got nothing to do with it. All right. How do you calculate how much to charge when a customer can only give you an exchange like nights in their hotel or their products? Let me make sure I understand that question. So are you saying, am I exchanging services for like, are they saying, hey, we need you to come film for 2 nights? We need to film our hotel. We need you there for 2 nights. How long am I filming? How long am I filming? Because if you're giving me a 2-night stay in a hotel in Hawaii, you're gonna fly me in to film it, and I'm only filming for an hour a day. Cool. I'm gonna charge you for that hour, plus travel, plus meals and things like that. So yeah, it depends. Matrix Photo Design, good looking out, brother, on the super chat. How do you answer clients that just want your rates? Hey, my base price is this, plus hourly depending on what you want. I'm gonna be honest with you, Matrix. I'm gonna be really, 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 really real with you. Really real with you. This is a note-taking moment, y'all. Get your pens and paper, right? Remember where you heard this. Let me put my hoodie on because it's kind of gangster. It's kind of gangster. Let me put my hoodie on. Let me get into any customer that just wants your rates is probably a customer you don't want to work with. All right. I look like the secret society of whatever. I don't know if I like that look. I don't want the Illuminati after me. But if you see me with 1 million subscribers tomorrow, that's probably what happened. I took the Illuminati deal. If they send me an A7S III, I just might. Anyway, so I don't deal with a lot of clients that want to just know my price. Because come on now, you go to the doctor and just think about it. If you're a doctor and somebody was like, look, doc, what is it going to take for me to get some Adderall? Do you really think they need help? Are they there to really be helped? No. Hey man, what Xanax, what needs to hurt for me to get a Xanax? What does that cost? Like, what needs to, I want to get some Percocets, doc. What's hurting? Something hurting on me, and I think I need Percocets. That's literally what clients are doing when they're like, what's the price? I don't know. How can I help you? Let me be a therapist. Sit down, let's talk. Let me be a doctor. You go to an auto mechanic and be like, what's the price to fix my car? Hell, I don't know. Let me look at your car. It's going to cost you some money for me to look at your car. So get out of the mindset of even exchanging prices. Hey, I don't know what the price is going to be. It depends on what we need to do for you. Do you got time to talk about it? Because I don't want to waste my time just saying, yo, $3,000. I'm going to tell you what I usually say. Right? Y'all listening? You can use this line. You can use this line. I'm giving you permission to use this line. I don't know if we're shooting Blair Witch Project or Transformers. I don't know what we're filming. So I can't give you a price. I don't know if we're going to need to be in the Swiss Alps or we're going to green screen it and put some mountains in the background. I don't know the price. I need to have a conversation with you to find out what all is needed so that I can get you the right price. It can be 2,000, it can be 2 million. I don't know what's needed. And I don't know what success looks like to give you a price right now. If clients don't have time to talk about what they need, they're not really trying to buy. They're not really trying to buy. They're not trying to buy from you, bro.
They just want to hear a price so they can go home and be like, okay, so they can price shop it. They just want an idea. If you don't got time to talk to me about the video that you need, because you're not hurting. You're not hurting enough for me to want to do business with you. I like people that's hurting. Bro, my sales is down. We ain't making it. We got to figure it out. Them the people I like to work with, right? Them the people I like to work with because they have a need and I want to offer a solution, right? That ER mentality. I want people that's hurting coming through the door like, Doc, I don't care what it costs, Doc. I'm bleeding out. Them the people I want to work with. And they're going to sit down and tell you what their problem is. My arm is missing. I was in a car accident. I was doing 30 in a 25. I don't know. Them the people you're going to, even no matter how messed up you are in the ER, they still asking you questions. What's your pain level? Unless you're unresponsive. What's your pain level? A 1 or a 10? Where does it hurt at? Blah, blah, blah. Even if you are unresponsive, as soon as they bring you back to life, and you like, yeah, they asking you questions. You know where you are? Yeah. What happened? I was driving. I don't remember. They're asking you questions. I don't deal with people who don't want to answer questions. You're not looking to buy, right? Because you're worried about price and not the resolution. You're not worried about how we can fix it. And them people aren't looking to spend money. They're looking to get a deal. They're looking for what's on sale, right? They're looking to buy it if the price is super cheap and they can take them. Not the people I want to deal with. Matrix, good looking out on Super Chat, bro. Clients that contact you via Thumbtack or Bark, what price before telling you the job? How do you handle that? Okay, I like that question because I use a lot of Thumbtack. I've used a lot of Thumbtack. And the method to be successful on Thumbtack is having a bar of entry price and then a la carte the hell out of their ass. Yeah, we could come out and do it for 400, but it's going to be one guy for 30 minutes. Let me send it. Can I write up a proposal? Then I write up a proposal and I a la carte the rest and let them sell themselves. Let them upsell it. I've had no BS. No BS. I've had $500 customers turn into $10,000 customers, right? Everybody on Thumbtack ain't cheap. Some just don't know no better. Everybody on Thumbtack ain't cheap. Some just don't know. They like, I guess it'll cost $400. I don't know. I'm just going to click it. See what I can get for this price. It don't cost them nothing to make a post. So if you ain't a good salesman, it's gonna cost you. They don't know. It ain't that everybody cheap. It ain't that everybody lowballing. It's just that when they post a $400 job for $400, they're gonna get 2 or 3 videographers like, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. But again, when you approach them and you ask the right questions and you're there to offer the solution, people are willing to spend money. Because everybody else, like, we could shoot it for 400. We're going to come out to your place and we're going to film your video for 400. When you approach them and say, yes, this video could possibly be done for $400. However, let me ask some questions because I really want to make sure I understand what success looks like. I really want to make sure we can offer a return on your investment. Let's talk about who your ideal client is. Who's your target audience? Your target audience is 55 and above. Listen. Typically when we work with people within your niche and we're working with clients who have a target audience of 55 and above, we like to shoot it at a slower pace and offer a slower pace video just to hold the attention of those who are 55 and above because they typically like to see longer shots. Those are things we do to keep clients engaged and increase your return on investment. Just because we have the experience of working in this industry and we know what works. I would love to sit down and talk to you so we can come up with a game plan on how to achieve what you're trying to achieve with this content. Now they're all in. Now their pocketbooks are open because they're all in. And I've no BS. It was a $500 customer and they end up spending $11,500 with me. And they've been a customer ever since. And I got them off Thumbtack. I've gotten big customers off Thumbtack, like Samsung off Thumbtack. I got big customers off Thumbtack. Don't sleep on Thumbtack. So, real quick. That's gospel. If they don't have the time, Media Smith said, if they don't have the time to talk about it, their project, and explain what they need to move forward, we shouldn't take the time to talk about numbers. When you call a dealership and say, how much is a Mustang? They start at this price. Do you want to come in and test drive one? No? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Get off my phone. Sometimes you got to go for the no. One of the biggest selling techniques is go for the no. You got to disqualify people. Everybody ain't here to do business with you. Your time is valuable. Disqualify people. Okay, bro, I'll talk to you later. Hey, hey, we're booked solid this month. If you got to go for the no. Sometimes you got to give pushback because people will waste your time. People like to talk about cameras. They're cool. I got an iPhone. It shoots 4K. I shoot it for the kids. The lighting is great. Sometimes I go, okay, listen, I'm gonna call you back. Time is money, right? Go for the no. Disqualify people. Sometimes the best sales technique is to not waste time with the people that's not gonna buy from you. It's a numbers game, bro. It's like dating. Go for the no. Disqualify her. Hey, what you talking? You ain't trying to? Okay, we ain't on the same page. Next, let me holler at you. Hey, let me holler. What you looking for? Depending on what you looking for that night in the club. Some girls will tell you it ain't happening, Jack. Appreciate it. Get out of here. Give me that drink back. You ain't about to drink that. Hey, girl, you want the drink? Go for the no. Go for the no. Disqualify people. Get them out of the way. Get them out of your face. It's a game of numbers. If we talk to 10 people, you're going to close on 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, so keep talking to people. Like, okay, thank you. Hey, call us if you need. It's just my card. Let me go for the no. Do not waste your time with people because a lot of people just want to talk. They want to just pick your brain. Go for the no. All right. If I'm understanding correctly, McKinley says you don't just have a base rate on your proposal. You itemize what's included in the base rate, such as camera gimbal, etc. Yes. So your base rate should come with a lot of stuff, right? When people see a base rate, they're like, why is it $1,000 for the first? Glad you asked. That base rate comes with a camera guy, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Now, when you add the second guy, you're getting blah, 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 blah. Because you want them to say, I think I need 2 guys. I think I need 2 guys for this. Your base rate, give them a lot in your base. Let them know what they're getting. We're going to show up 30 minutes prior to set up. You can get a complete hour of filming, not an hour for us to set up and get there, yada, yada, yada. Your base rate for pre-production could include location scouting, lighting, or not lighting, but lighting diagrams, storyboarding, however you want to do pre-production. Your post-production, you got a base rate of, for the first minute we're doing, that includes color grading, audio editing, mixing, transfer of data. Add all of that stuff in, converting the video into multiple add all of that stuff, thumbnail creation, online gallery where you can go on and circle what you don't like. Like if you got Vimeo, and you got the business plan, people can come on and look at their video and make edits on the video. That's all included in our editing suite and video editing. That's all included. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind as you build it out. Right now, that's the discount right there. Wait, other side. Wait, I got to do it where I can see it. That's the discount right there on the contract pack. That's the only current discount. Yep. So with that being said, there's a lot to keep in mind as you offer your pricing. This is my pricing structure. This is the Ty Flash Film Academy pricing structure. You're probably not going to find it to this extent everywhere else. Other people do theirs differently. A lot of people don't want to talk about price. That's cool. That's your business. Whatever. This is what I found work for me time and time again, because sometimes you get caught up in giving somebody a price and then 6 months later you're giving them a different price and they was like, oh, you told me $5,000 6 months ago. Now it's down to 3. Let's go. Or vice versa. Oh, we got video from you guys last year. It was $1,000. How is it 6 now? You guys are scamming. We're out of here. Now, should your price go up a little bit yearly? Yeah, your base may go from $1,000 to $1,150. That's a big jump, but you get what I'm saying. It's gonna go up every year or two. Clients expect that. In fact, if it don't go up, something ain't right. So the itemized budget is done via Proposify, not HoneyBook. Okay, that's a bit confusing, but let me go into detail. It's usually done via both because HoneyBook will have a list of things. So let me get this straight. Let me clarify this. I use Proposify. You don't have to use Proposify with HoneyBook. HoneyBook offers a proposal section. It does a great job at offering proposals. I like Proposify as a separate standalone because I like the ability to what Proposify gives you, the main thing Proposify gives you is the ability to get stats on your proposal. You know when you literally know when somebody's on it. Hey, such and such just open your proposal. I know what page they're looking at. I know what they're scrolling at. I know what they're clicking on. I know it before they know I know it. So if I want to, I can pick up the phone and catch them right there in the proposal. Hey, Ty from Flash Film Media, just calling to see if you had any questions about the proposal. Not sure if you had a chance to look at it or not. Oh, I got the proposal open right here in front of me. Yeah, I got a question. Boom, I can overcome any objections you have. They can sign it right there. I can submit the invoice. We're in business. That is a game changer when it comes to sales, because it's not the catch me if you can, cat and mouse crap. I got you right while you're looking at it. And I've been able to close 50% more sales by having that perfect timing every single time. Every single time. I got the app on my phone, boop, such and such looking at your proposal. Let's get on it. That's why I like Proposify. That is a completely separate unit than HoneyBook. It's an extra step that's a bit of a pain, but I like the benefits. HoneyBook does proposals, it just don't give you stats. So it's different. There's never a dumb question. So for thumbnails, do you add an image into the album with the video? So the thing is this, I only do thumbnails for clients that have YouTube channels. That's it. Or if they have a website, they want to display a thumbnail, but it's usually a separate picture that I'll send to the client. So, yeah. Yeah, so yes, on Thumbtack, I do start with a base price, and then I work my way up on Thumbtack clients, because Thumbtack, they're price shoppers, right? They're price shoppers unless you educate them. Right. Sometimes you can I told you, I had a client that wanted a $400, $500 video. They ended up spending $10,000. So I'm about to wrap up now. Trust me. So you just got to educate clients and be careful, be selective with Thumbtack. I don't shoot music videos. No, only corporate. Companies got money. People don't. All right. Oh, so you mean if customers don't have cash and they want to give you some of their products in exchange for your services, like several nights at their hotel? Pepe Le Pew. That sounds real kind of weird, but I ain't going to say nothing. So you can come stay at my hotel. Bring your video camera. We can work something out. You can do dollar for dollar, cash value. That's really at your discretion. If you feel like, that's at your discretion. If Motel 6 called me, so you can stay in a Motel 6 for 20 days nah. But if it's somewhere in Hawaii, it ain't gonna pay for me to go out there, I'll be willing to exchange some stuff. So, Wood Design, say, thanks again. My question is around shooting for free for a client. Would it be wise to offer a solution that may include advertising at an optimal reach on social media? Yes. Okay, so he's pretty much saying if you're shooting for free, it do sound like a hostel. If you're shooting for free, would you throw out the idea of advertising? Yes, you're offering the whole solution. If you plan on offering advertising with your client, now mind you, they'll have to spend the advertising budget. But you can offer to create it if you want. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. This is a little dirty trick, right? That I'm burying somewhere in the end of this video. That you want to blow a client away? I'm about to tell you how to blow a client away. I'm about to tell you a dirty secret. When you shoot a video for a client, wherever you post it, right? If you post it on YouTube, if you post it on Vimeo, you post it on Facebook. What I usually do sometimes is I will go and spend $20 of advertising budget, and I'll put it in a price, 20 or sometimes up to 100 of advertising budget, just to shock the video. One day, $100, bring me all the traffic you can bring me. Just so the client can be like, we did 3,000 views in a day. You're brilliant, Ty. They'll be like, what in the world? We just uploaded it last week. Now, is it wrong? No, because you're bringing them legitimate traffic. Don't go get the cheap, we're just going to get people to look at No, advertise it under legitimate keywords in places that really help the client. The goal is ROI, not to look like ROI, but real ROI, right? So let's advertise it in places that will actually help them. If they're a lawyer in Atlanta, let's make sure they come up under lawyers in Atlanta on YouTube, and let's bring them, because out of that shock that you hit them with a week of advertising for $100, they're gonna get some phone calls. Hey, we saw your video. Hey man, we saw your video. Hey, we saw your video. Hey, we need 3 more of them videos, man. People calling like crazy. Cool. It's working. Then it'll organically start to grow, and you'll still get calls. And that's just an instant shock to the ROI. That's just something you can put in your back pocket, right? That's why it's important to make profit with your video, because you can do things like that. Now, moving forward, if you want to take that data and present it to the client, hey, we did this with $20. How many calls you say you got? 10. Let's set up a plan where for $1,000 a month, you give us $500, we'll manage it. We'll give you $500 budget towards the video. We can bring you triple the traffic. Go on Fiverr, go to the guys I sent you to set up the campaign, put the $500 to it, let it run. Make $500 a month simply by letting the campaign run. That's all marketing companies do anyway. Set it up one time, come back and check on it a week later. Outsource that part, make a $500 managing fee, go to sleep, wake up. That's another way to make money in your sleep. All right, with that, I'm gonna wrap it up because I didn't give you the game. We done talked about the Sony A7 III. We got a lot done today in this 2 hours and 15 minutes super long video, but I hope you were able to learn something. This video will be public. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe to the podcast. Flash Film Academy's podcast about content and cash. It's available everywhere you listen to podcasts. Please give me a good review if you can. Please give this video a good thumbs up. You know, how you go about charging for flight and hotel, I give them the actual I don't make profit off that. But make sure you got a per diem. Make sure they're paying for food per day. You know. So there you go. All right. Somebody said better than the movie. I hope you learned something. Hope you got something from this. What do I enter the discount code on your site? When you get ready to buy now, it'll ask you for a code. It'll ask you for the code when you get ready to, when you click to buy now. Ty, you was wild in this live. Hey man, I try to wild every live. You know how I do. You know how I do. I just like to keep it real. I like to keep it 100. Man, look, I'm not gonna dig at nobody, right? I love YouTube. What I don't like about YouTube is when you watch people or you follow people that give you the fluff version, or they don't just be like, yo, this is what it is. I just try to make sure I tell you what it is. Some people are going to like the truth, some people not, right? Some people are going to agree with me, some people are not going to agree with me. But I just want to be honest with you. I don't want to BS you. It's enough, you got enough people in this world BSing you. Let's just be real. You got enough BS from every other place. I just want to keep it 100. It don't hurt me to keep it real with you. It don't hurt most people to keep it real with you, but they think it do. They think it hurts them, but it don't. I want you to win, right? Because I roll with winners. I want us all to, you know, have our yachts and our Lamborghinis, and I want us all to turn up and say we flying to such and such. I just like to see people win, fam, and that's just, it is what it is. The world is a better place when everybody's winning. All right, with that being said, I'm going to get ready to wrap. Make sure y'all wear y'all masks. Make sure y'all stay safe. Tune in the next video. The next live is going to be Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This Thursday. Every Tuesday. Usually we do Tuesday at 1, but we had the big announcement. Every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Thursdays. We do this every week. 2 times a week. All right? So, with all that, make sure y'all safe. Make sure y'all turn up. Make sure y'all, you know, practicing the business side, reading a good book. Education over entertainment, E over E. It's your way to be free. That don't even make sense, but you know what I'm saying. I'll see y'all in the next live.